Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Candice. Today we are going to continue on with some more frugal tips. Apparently you guys like them quite a bit. So today we're gonna do 10 random things that have saved me a lot of money in like the past 10 years or so. First, we're gonna pray for this video because I pray for all my videos, and then we'll dive right in. God, thank you so much for giving us resources and for trusting us to steward those resources well, and for giving us a plethora of information out there on how to be better stewards of our resources and our talents and our gifts. I ask that you would bless anybody watching this video right now in Jesus Christ's name. All right. So, 10 random things. Hi, kitty. 10 random things that have saved me a lot of money over like the last 10 plus years or so. Okay. Now, none of these are particularly like mind-blowing tips. Okay. These are all, a lot of these things, okay, like great grandparents and stuff like that would look at you and be like, duh. Right? So if you've heard some of them before, hi, that's cool. If you've learned something new, take it, run with it. Well, let's see, we'll start with the first one. The first few we'll do are reusable things, using reusable things instead of disposables, right? Because obviously reusable things, like you can just reuse them and wash them or whatever, and so they tend to live longer and you are not purchasing them over and over and over again. One of the easiest ones here that I found saves me a lot of time and hassle and money is handkerchiefs. Okay, old school, like hankies. These are so much better than disposable tissues, because disposable tissues, let's face it, they cost a lot of money. They're very thin and very dry. They usually like make your nose super red and are just miserable to deal with. Handkerchiefs, at least, if you get ones, you know, that are made out of cotton or make them yourself, they are much gentler on your nose. They can be used for a great many random things. You know, I usually keep them in my pockets or in my purse. I use them to wipe off my glasses when they get dirty. You know, of course, using them for your nose if you need to. I use them for a lot of different things, but they're beautiful, they're easy, and you just, you know, throw them in the wash when you're ready to clean them. In the same way that, you know, you like use your washcloths for things and your kitchen towels for dirty things, right? And then you just wash them and get them clean. Same deal here. Easy peasy, saves a lot of money in the long run. That's tip number 1. Tip number 2 on reusable things, okay, is instead of disposable razors, okay, I used to use a lot of disposable razors, and the problem with these disposable razors they make for women is they've got like 5 or 6 blades in there, and so inevitably they get like clogged with whatever it is that you're shaving, leg hair, etc. And so you end up like going through at least one of those razor blades, you know, every 2, 3, 4 showers, right? Old school style, right? The kind of blade that my great grandparents used to have is a safety razor. This thing has one blade in it, which makes it nice and easy to clean and unclog and get things out of. And it opens up so you can take it off, and you can take the head part off and replace the blade, right? So instead of buying like a whole new razor every time I need a razor, all I do is purchase these little blades, and then you put the old one in, you get a new one out, right? They're easy. I've had this razor for close to 10 years now. Yeah. And I am still using up the 3 little packs of blades that I bought originally, because these blades last like, I find these blades last for me personally about 5 or 6 months before I have to replace one. So, good investment, lasts a very, very long time, has saved me a great deal of money over the last 10 years. Moving on. Another thing, you know those like cheap nail files that you get like at the dollar store and stuff, those little paperboard ones. I used to go through quite a few of those because my nails grow quite long and they'd get raggedy and stuff, you know, so I'd use those. And the problem is those things get worn down so quickly that you have to go and buy new ones, right? One of the best things is a little metal nail file. I have not had to replace this because it stays sharp, does the job. One little thing to replace all the little paper ones that I kept having to get, right? Easy peasy. Was that was number 3. We're moving on to number 4. Number 4 is a random one. Okay, my great grandparents used to do this when you get mail and stuff, and you know, the envelopes, like if it's junk mail, the envelopes you usually just end up throwing in the trash, right? Those envelopes, if you take them and cut them up, they end up being the perfect size to use for writing like your grocery list on, right? So I have like this cute little box, and I have cut up random envelopes and things that I've gotten, and I use them to write down my grocery list or my errands that I'm running for the day, because let's face it, usually if I don't write it down, I forget. But if you write it down, and you're only going to write it down on like a little piece of paper, this thing's going to end up in the garbage anyway, right? But at least it will have served a second purpose before it goes in the trash, and that way you don't have to buy like sticky notes and random little notepads, because if you already have these coming in the mail anyway, why waste the money, right? Okay. In terms of laundry, a lot of people will get, you know, the dryer sheets and stuff like that. I have 2 tips that fall under laundry specifically here. The first one is dryer balls. Instead of using those little sheets, I bought like a pack of these dryer balls. You can tell this one's been used quite a bit and this one's a little bit newer. These dryer balls last a very long time. They cut down the drying time in the dryer, and they bounce around your clothes so you don't have to use fabric softener in the wash. A beautiful investment. They're pretty cheap to buy. I mean, you can get a pack of 3 of them, I think, for like $10 the last time I saw at the store. Maybe less than, depending on where you're at. But they last for years and years before they, you know, start falling apart. A great investment. Saves you money. Moving on. Oh, the other one with that for laundry is, I can't exactly show it because it's fairly gigantic, is having a clothesline, okay? Like if you have the space for it, if you have like an actual home with a backyard or something like that, having a clothesline or like just like a wooden drying rack that you can pull up and stuff like that. So that way, you know, your more delicate items can go hang outside or be on the drying rack. It saves you electricity because you don't have to throw them in the dryer, and the sun is a beautiful thing for helping to bleach those whites, and it's free. Ain't that nice? So I bought like I think it was like $70 or something, a drying rack, like a clothesline that you can just like stick in the ground and then it unfolds like an umbrella at the top. It's a beautiful thing. It saves me a lot of using my dryer in the summertime because I just throw everything on the line. Instead of paper towels, I don't know, what tip are we on now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? 7? Instead of using paper towels, getting cloth napkins. I mean, this is what our great-grandparents used to call like the rag bin, right? You use rags, miscellaneous rags, for mopping up spills and different things. I still do have paper towels for one specific purpose, because I have cats, and cats occasionally do, you know, have hairballs and barf them up. So I do use it for that, to just throw it away. But other than that, reusable napkins, rags, you can even use old towels that are starting to fall apart and just cut them up. They're great for mopping up spills and everything, and that way you're not spending a ton of money on paper towels that are just going to end up in the trash. Number 8 is another one of the reusable ones. This is specifically for the women out there, okay? Reusable menstrual products. All right. I used to spend, back when I was like a teenager, right? I used to spend like $15 probably a month on menstrual products that were literally just going to go in the trash when they were done. Like, that's a lot of money to spend on every single month just to be a woman, right? It's not so fun. But eventually I figured out that, oh, there's these things called reusable menstrual products, and they're a beautiful thing. So things like period panties, right? Reusable pads that are great. You know, they've got menstrual cups. You can figure out which things you like, or a mixture of all three if that's your preference. And the beautiful thing is that they are easy to use, easy to maintain and clean, and they last you like ages, okay? Like, I bought the reusable pads and the cup at least 10 years ago, right? And I think I spent like $100 over the course of 10 years. That instead of $15 a month, that's averaged out to like less than $1 a month so far, and they're still going strong. I'm probably going to get at least another 10 plus years out of these things, right? It makes being a woman cheaper in the long run. Yes, it's a little bit of an upfront investment. You could even make, honestly, you could make reusable pads yourself if you wanted to. A lot of people do. Cheap, easy, lasts you like for freaking ever. It's a beautiful thing. All right, where were we at? Number 9. So I don't know how many people actually wear these anymore. I wear them a decent bit, especially if I'm cleaning or I'm around the house cooking and things like that. I even have a specific one now for gardening, is aprons, guys. Right? Like, our grandmothers used to wear aprons because they had less clothes, right? So in order to save on having to wash those clothes 8 million times, you wear an apron, and then all of the gunk and the food and gardening bits or whatever else you're doing end up on that apron instead of on you, and the apron is much easier to hand wash or throw on the line than having to wash an entire outfit, right? So I have multiple of these. They're great for cooking, baking, gardening, all of that. The best ones are the ones that have pockets. Great for holding all your things as you walk around, even great for holding your hankies. They're just easier to wash than, say, an entire outfit or an entire skirt or whatever else it is you're wearing. It's easier to just throw an apron on, and then when it gets dirty, throw it in with your washcloths or whatever in the washing machine. Saves on laundry bills. And our last one, I tried to make this video a little bit quicker, guys, than normal, so we're running through them a little fast. The last one that has saved me a lot of money over the years, because like when I was young and stuff, we didn't have a lot of money, and so I found a lot of cheap ways to be entertained and cheap things to do, you know, that I could do with like my high school friends back in the day, and that were free or almost free, you know, so that way I wasn't spending a lot of money. And one of the beautiful things that I found was my local library, okay? Having a library card is a beautiful thing because it opens you up to being able to get movies that you can watch at home. You can get a bunch of books, CDs. I mean, they do so much stuff at the library these days. Like at my local library, you can check out a bike and go ride around the park for a couple of hours and then bring it back. Like they even have like a space to do, like they have like a 3D printer and random stuff that you can do all while using your library card. I think it's an underutilized resource these days. Instead of like actually going out to the movie theater, you can go get a movie from the library and sit inside your living room with like 8 or 10 different people and just have a movie night, you know? Much cheaper that way. Okay, I think that wraps up our 10 random frugal tips that have saved me a lot of money. If you have any others that I didn't mention, throw them down below. I'd love to hear them in the comments. Like I said, tell me what you think. If you got any others, throw them down there. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.